John Elite here. I'm not going to be smiling for my personality because this video is so important. This video is about what is the poison pill, the half-truth pill. This is a new trend that's happening because red pill is dead. The red pill coaches can no longer use the name red pill to manipulate you and to game you for money. Stay in this video as I give you 3 big secrets that they'll never ever tell you. I am John Elite. 475 late poll testimonials, right? So for all of you motherfuckers out there who are so depressed, snowflake cunts, with a thumb up your ass and just looking on your cell phone and watching Netflix, stop for a second and listen. The secret number 1 is they are now telling you half-truths. They have their own looks, money, and status thing, but they'll never talk about these pieces. So the very first secret is it is a game of value for looks, value for money, value for status. Social skills is skills. So it is not all skills. That's the problem. That's the first secret. It is a value and skill system. Game is a value delivery system. As you can see, game is connected to these 3 values, looks, money, and status. Game is like DHVing these 3 things. It's a value delivery system. If you fail to understand this and you focus only on game, it's just a small fucking part of this chart. You see that? It's so small. It has all these components. So that's the first secret. The second secret is this is not a game of poker. This is not a game of sales. Because when we're talking about sales, for example, this is value right here. See that? V-A-L-U-E. So for example, if you're a white person, and this is the skills, this is the line of fuckability. So if you're white, your value is higher up here in the chart. So you need less skills to get over the line. You see that? This is why they're value deniers. This is dangerous. They'll tell you that this is how it's done is all skill. They're denying value. They're denying the value that they have. That's the second secret. If they're like black or they look black, they still have more value. It doesn't take as much to get over the line. And during COVID, it could be easier. So that's the second secret, is that if somebody's not telling you about their own value, or they're dismissing or they're hiding it, this is where the poison pill comes in. Because they're hiding this pill over here, right? Whatever pill, right? They're hiding bits and pieces of it. So why is it not a game of sales? Because it's like the product is better. When the product is better, you can see their testimonials. Most of their testimonials are Tinder shit, where white people have a huge advantage, where 95% of their student results are, or 96% is all white for Tinder. I don't count Tinder. Tinder does not have as much social skills. Right here. So social skills is not there. Social calibration is not there. Emotional intelligence is not there. Just a little bit of game. Night game. You know, not as much social skills. You can't hear what they're saying. There's some body language and there's some emotions. A little bit, but reality, Daygame. Oh, now you need all 4. Now it's hard. They only have like fucking 2 late testimonials with their faces completely blacked out, the whole screen blacked out, and that's their testimonial. Why is it for Daygame? That's the first thing. If you want to show receipts, right, of my student results, my London student got much hotter women than they ever can get for Latinas. You bang like 2 models are Latinas. That's 1. So let's start. Secret number 3. This is what they don't want to tell you. And this is why I'm yelling. Looks is out of 10. Money is out of 5. Status is out of 10. Social skills is 2.5. Social calibration is 2.5. Emotional control is 2.5. And game is 2.5. This is what makes me mad. This will never be mentioned here. It's all game. But that doesn't make any fucking sense because the naturals always had social skills. That's all they focus on. Emotional control, chillness. Social calibration is confident body language. And then lastly, the game tactics differs because every single natural has a different ethnicity. They have different tactics. But these 3 are the first things they focus on. Is what they don't tell you that gaslights you. So the first thing is they're going to delete these 3. Skills. They're going to be all game. They're going to call game skills. Yeah, you could use social skills as game. And nobody wants to talk about this shit. And now you're like, John's not having high vibrational. No, because I'm outraged. And all the students out there and all the potential students can feel what I'm saying because it's so important that I get this message to you. The first thing is that when they talk about looks, they always want to talk about the goddamn face. Big fucking deal. A lot of my students are not good looking. They'll never talk about the height. That's where the poison pill comes in. Height is never mentioned. My Pakistani mentor is 5'11"ish. He doesn't have a nice looking face. And you will never suspect him to be the biggest fucking player where all the women he banged in front of me, about 15 in a row, are all 9 out of 10s. 9, 9, 9, 9. There's no like 8 point whatever. They're all 9s. They're not 10s. They're not 8s. They're not 8.5. They're all 9s. What the fuck? And then 13 of them became fuck buddies. After I left, the inner circle mentioned. And even COVID is still slaying. So height matters. And he has wide shoulders. He's not like a... That's important. So it's not about muscles. And this is what they don't tell you. They'll say something like, oh, you know, they have things that they can do, micro adjustments. It's bullshit. It's more like micro dosing. If you see a dating coach that is taking steroids and they're denying value matters, they have nothing to teach you. There are people out there, even haters, who take steroids and they think the RSD stuff works. They're the rare 1% exception, but it's really injecting that made it work a little bit with no proof. So they're SMVing it. Never ever take steroids, ever. Don't even call it TRT, which is going to be the new lie, I believe, in the future. They're going to call it testosterone replacement therapy. It's bullshit. I'm telling you everything that they don't want to mention. So that's the first category. Height matters. Whenever I wear elevator shoes out there, when I was daygaming around the mansion, when I'm above 5'9", holy shit, every woman starts staring at me from across the mall because I'm way taller. I almost feel like there's a presence there. That's a strange thing. It's not an uphill battle. When you're 5'7", they barely look at you. Once in a while, they see your clothing and they're like, oh, it's not bad. But when you're 5'9" and above, it's a downhill battle. I know that sounds really fucked up, right? But that's the truth. You just stand there and you can see in a half a second, the women's already into you. You can look at their infields and you can see if the women are smiling into you, hiding that reaction later. They already won the battle before it started. But not everyone has that height. Not everyone has that muscles. And very few of my students are very good looking. And my good looking students, if I had a white good looking student, same height as a average looking white student, the average looking one and the good looking one, they have exactly the same results or similar. I know that sounds really fucked up. The second thing about looks is that fashion matters. A lot of times they're like, oh, you know, these guys are wearing stupid suits and stuff like that and posing in front of, I dress like this. You're like, what the fuck? I literally dress like this when I go outside because I have self-esteem. I feel comfortable in this. This is not a goddamn suit, guys. This is a blazer. You're like, what the fuck is all these patterns in here? All this is like hot women and stuff in here. And this is, and over here somewhere, it has exactly the year I was born. Right here. This is I'm not saying it's custom made, but this is very custom towards me. This is a very specialized blazer that wears blazer. My students are wearing blazers. When you look at the London student, you look at the Indian student that got married, you look at all the students recently. All the students. I have 5 fucking lay testimonials in 1 week of students. They all wear the same fucking shit. So whenever they tell you, oh no, it's not that one hairstyle, it's not, find your own style. Well, how about fuck you? Who the fuck has 5 lay testimonials in COVID in 1 week? Nobody. Second of all, my London student has hotter women than most of these dating coaches, if not all. Fucking 2 models, 10 fuck buddies, 5 some. Let's talk about money. The truth about money. My Pakistani mentor lives in a $3 million mansion. You don't think that fucking helps? Or to have a nice penthouse somewhere? You don't think money fucking helps? It's like, oh, John's trying to dress rich. Yeah, dumb motherfucker, be husband material. That's the truth. If you're husband material, instead of just getting fuck buddies, closing this and that, a few girlfriends here and there, it moves you to the top of the line. It's like going to a nightclub. And you're the first one, they just let you walk through. Because while women will go through around 12 boyfriends in their lifetimes and they get married, They're looking for that husband. That's how you jump the line. So money matters. My Pakistani mentor dresses better than me. Yeah, you can see it wearing nice belts, nice watches, all that shit. But however, this is the funny thing I've noticed, even among teenage girls. Whenever you walk around, you dress nice and stuff like this, somehow they react to it. But you're saying, wait a minute, are they mature? Okay, this is just hypothetical, but they react to it, and I'm wondering why. They have not been cultured to do that. But it is evolutionary psychology. They're looking for a value, survival and replication value. Replication is in the height, muscles. This is evolutionary psychology, what they don't want to tell you about. They never talk about the fucking height, because when they talk about the height, their real height, they're implicating themselves that they don't have as much game. Not everyone is tall. I get it. And that's why it's good to work on Instagram. So there's two types of status. So this word is inaccurate. From now on, this is going to be debunking the poison pill, the half-truth pill, perceived status or perceived ethnicity. Perceived ethnicity. So what I mean by that, perceived, is they're always talking about, I'm this race, I'm that race, which is a fucking lie. When you look at the women, they're always asking, what race are you? They don't fucking know. They don't know. So in reality, their race is whatever women thinks they are. My friend, the Indian friend, he is right now in Mexico. He looks like a Latino, but he's Indian. Guess what? He's treated like a Latino. So that's his perceived race. That's the truth that they don't want to tell you. They want to say they are this race or they're that negative race. No, they are way up there and they want to deny the value. So whatever they deny is the poison pill. This is the half-truth pill because they're denying it. And that's what's outrageous. Obviously, when you're white or perceived to be white, you're going to have a lot more value if you're tall. Just like my students learning social skills. It's just how it is. And even if you don't make the height at 5'9", which is the national average, guess what? It doesn't matter. As long as your shoes make up 5'9", that's all that matters. But after we talk about status, in terms of status, your ethnicity has a value, your perceived status, natural status. So if you're white, you're way up there. If you're black, you're second highest because they have protector status and pre-selection. They don't have to be good looking. They don't. It's not required because women respond to the muscles. It's evolutionary psychology. That's what they don't want to tell you. And the third thing is that Latinos are no longer number 3 now. I'm moving them down one spot. I'm moving Middle Easterns up. A lot of my students in the Middle Eastern, they're actually doing very, very well. A little bit too well, if you ask me. So they're moving up a spot because Donald Trump really moved them down. And it's just like Asians, the Asian wash, they're always down to the last place. Negative stereotype Indians, we're talking about like the ones that are really, every negative stereotype that you can portray that looks like RSD victims. I'm just saying, if you're really that negative stereotype, dressing like Bollywood wash, you are in trouble. You think you look cool. The Indians who do much better are the whitewash Indians. My Pakistani mentor is very whitewashed. When he talks like me, but better. His tonality changes, his social skills. Women forget that he has a darker complexion. They don't know. As soon as he talks, that's what he told me. That's the secret. As soon as he opens his mouth, all that disappears. And that's genius. So you want to be like that. If you're Indian, you want to get all of this zone. If you're Asian, a lot of Asians are getting beaten up during COVID-19. They're getting punched in the back of the head, being shot, all that stuff, hate crimes. For Asians, because you're Asian washed, you get it? You guys will not learn a lesson. My students who dress like me, not a single one of them has been harassed. Not a single one of them have been in a fight. Not a single one of them receive racism. Like they make white friends. They get along with all the women, white women. They're part of the in tribe, not the out tribe. So the status is that there's a hierarchy. The second type of status is a lifestyle. Lifestyle. My Pakistani mentor told me this, John, lifestyle is the greatest equalizer. Building Instagram, having a lifestyle, demonstrating value in that regard. You may not have the height, you may not have the looks, you may not have this, or you may not have other stuff. But because you have all this status, it adds to the points. They're at 10 points. So for status, for example, you might be an Asian guy. You might have 1 out of 10 status, but COVID-19, if you're Asian wash, is 0 because you're the Wuhan flu now. I know it sounds awful, but that will lower your status. Let's say, for example, you're a whitewash Indian, but you have a good lifestyle. Even if you're 4 out of 10 for your status, you can raise it by a few points. You see that? Very smart, right? You can raise it by a few points. You have to dress like a different ethnicity if you're Indian. A lot of my students, they look like a different ethnicity. That's fucking intelligent. That means it's all perceived natural status and your lifestyle plays a big role. They could say they're a DJ. They have a high status, sort of. And they're like, oh, Jason Capital, blah, blah, blah. No, fuck Jason Capital. I don't get along with him. I don't get along with him. I stare him down. Like, John's acting intimidating again. No, I really do. If I see somebody part of the out tribe, I sort of treat them like the out tribe. If they're part of in tribe, they get treated very nice. Is that when you say you're a DJ or a cool job? That's exactly what my London student has. He has a cool job. Second job. For him, women are into it. Obviously, it's not all game, it's not all social skills. It's also a high status, a cool job that women are into. So if you DHV that you're a DJ or you're a cool job, you're a music producer and stuff like that, of course it fucking helps. The club promoter is pretty cool too. There's many, many cool jobs out there. Many, many cool jobs. You're a musician, you're a rapper. You see that status. For the status, there's also different type of status. It's not just ethnicity and there's not just lifestyle. That's just 2 of them. There's also, your status can also depend on different things like exotic advantage. If you're a minority and you're in a country where the women are predominantly Caucasian or white, you are the exotic advantage. You will have a huge boost in exotic advantage. And even during COVID-19, because women don't have as much money, their survival value is affected. Your value go up dramatically. Does that make sense? You can deny all you want, but this is the truth. There's a high status, there's exotic advantage, there's a natural status, there's a lifestyle, there's so many different types of status. And there's also like a foreigner advantage too, obviously, with the money and status. There's so many different types of status. Status is where you want to be maxing out. And if you can look like a different ethnicity, I recommend you do so. It is important you do it. And this is what they don't want to tell you. These are the 3 things that will be ignored. Social skills, social calibrations. Most of my students cannot learn social skills. A lot of them are so delusional and Asperger's and autistic. We've been doing social skill flow drills, which is getting the students laid nonstop from Johnny Elite Access. Not a single fucking student, or very few, can do it right away. The only one that can do it is one of my short Middle Eastern students who have the social circle. Everybody else is fucking socially retarded. They take them like more than 2 months to master this drill or just to pass it. I scored out of 10. But for them, I'm just telling you, social skills is not in their mind. This is why most dating coaches are using the words verbals. Oh yeah, it's just a verbals, right? I'm doing verbals. They see it as a fucking tactic. A fucking tactic, a strategy. It's not a skill. That's the problem. That's not social skills. They call it conversational skills. It's not a fucking conversation. It's a social skills. What the naturals do. The naturals talk to everyone. They flow in their conversation and they talk to women too. They even have female friends. My Pakistani mentor does. And he uses the women to improve his social skills before he brings fuck buddies over and, starts going out there. He has to sharpen the saw. Social skills is the most powerful thing ever. They're going to dismiss it. They're going to call it fucking, it's all game. It's kind of funny because I'm actually the godfather of all day gamers in the world. I'm the first. Ross Jeffrey's not. He's a night gamer. I accidentally used night game technology for day game. I'm actually the first. So that means I'm the first red pill coach in the world. And I went through all the red pill systems. None of them have social skills. Look at Todd Valentine. He doesn't have any fucking social skills. They sound like robots. They sound like they're gaming. They're always talking about, oh, you're using just lines from this and that. No, fuck the lines. I don't use lines. Second thing is social calibrations, body language. All the naturals have perfect body language. My Pakistani mentor has perfect body language. For Elite 30, it's actually forcing a perfect body language for the students.
That's what you don't realize. It's forcing a perfect body language. 30 days. You can't RSD it with mindsets and spam approach out there with bad fucking body language. You can't. You don't get it. You cannot do it. So therefore, that's a fucking stupid strategy. Even if you had that inner game and it makes you take action, you're taking massive uncalibrated action without social calibrations, nonverbal communications. You rather learn it outside in by fixing the body language first. It will change your state of mind, which becomes outside in. You get it? This is the truth. And whenever you see them not talking about this, they hunch in their fucking infields. They stand next to her and doing this. They look like a fucking robot talking. This is what they don't want to tell you. This is the poison pill. What they leave out is the poison. And this really pisses me off. Emotional control. They always talk about emotional impact. They always talk about emotional impact because when you look at the chart, social skills, I'll show you here, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. They always focus on the bottom two because their SMV is so fucking high. They're just way over the fucking line. So therefore, they just tell you like, oh, it's just a little bit of emoting because they're just emoting and vibing their SMV. You want to have emotional control, not emotional impact. Naturals learn how to relax and they talk in a very relaxing kind of way, like the naturals. And I can do that anytime I want. I can switch my vibe. How does John do this? Now John's so relaxed when he talks to women. It's like, what's happening to John? He's almost like a different person. Like he's possessed by a natural. That's right. I treat everyone different. My personality changes depending on the person. I can talk like a natural. I can be very, very relaxed with a good body. So when I'm out there in the field, it clicks because it's, rehearsed so many times. Emotional control. My students are learning how to do emotional control. They're taking supplements that relaxes the nervous system and reduces cortisol. Because if they have the wrong vibe, and a lot of people have a dreadful vibe, especially the virgins and stuff. There's a lot of students that are virgins. They have the wrong vibe. They sound like they're barking at people. I don't talk to women like that. I talk to them like this, I talk very different. But when they talk to women, it sounds really like, biting into them like a barking dog. That's a problem. So this is important too, emotional control, not emotional impact, because you might impact this dead fish vibe, this negative vibe. And the truth is not about the vibe. A lot of people say, oh, you have a better vibe emotions. No, it's just, if you were in the South and you're fucking your sister, okay, I know that's what they do in the South, they fuck their sister. Just joking, not trying to be like, prejudiced, but if let's say hypothetically you did that, your emotions will get better or worse. But let's say it gets better. And all of a sudden when you're talking to other people, right, your chest sticks out more, you see that? And you become more social because you talk to her too while you're fucking her. I know it sounds awful. I know, I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm not condoning that. I'm just making a hypothetical point. So therefore, it corrects the vibe. So the vibe is more like a record or is like a DVD or a Blu-ray. You're writing a pattern in there and the women can read the pattern. And that's the secret. Women can actually see the entire scale. They can weigh it in their mind. They can weigh all this in their mind. That's the big secret. And lastly, game is just a value delivery system. Game's only 2.5 points. But they're going to tell you that game is everything. They're going to take this whole fucking category and call it game. But before 2001, before the red pill, which I've learned all the tactics, they never called it game. They just had social skills. It's not blue pill. It's not about, which pill is the right pill, the truth pill. No, it's called poison pill. Half truth is poison. There is no pills. And every pill you can say is a different continent in their different cultures and their different belief systems from what they see. Or it could be like a big elephant. It can be different parts of it. It can be the tail, the foot, the trunk, the top of the head. Does that make sense? You're seeing a different part of the game. Or they can be all right if you combine them together. But there is no such thing as a pill. And whatever they're trying to tell you, whatever they're missing, the perceived race, the height, the lifestyle, and also like their emotional control is maybe a byproduct of their SMV because of the perceived race. They might tell you it's all game that they're this ethnicity. Whatever they're not telling you. So whenever they tell you it's a game of poker, it's a game of skill, but they're denying the value, they're giving you the poison pill. It's not the poison pill, it's called the cyanide pill. Dangerous fucking poison. If anything sounds different than mine, which I have 475 late poll testimonials, I'm only 25 away from reaching 500. And this is all a day game. This is not fucking Tinder. Night game counts a little bit to some degree because it's pickup, but it's not goddamn fucking Tinder where only the people with value, which is mostly for their student results. It's almost 95% or 96% white students and 2 black students, 1 Asian, token Asian, and they might have more token Asians. Who knows? Like I said, until you actually show it, I don't know it. Just to be accurate. But yeah, it reflects that their flowcharts and their so-called tactics and whatever they call skills is not really skills. Because they're saying if you just do this at this particular point in time, you turn the steering wheel this degree, right? 60 degrees, you press the gas exactly 50% and you pull the handbrake. You see, that's called game. That's like remembering something from a flowchart and delivering the value there. Skills is learning how to corner every single fucking corner. Like social skills. This will never be talked about, social skills. You all think I'm fucking crazy by talking about social skills. John's not that social. John's more social than you realize. John Elite, if he's out there and talking to people and you record him, sounds like he has perfect social skills. You have no idea. People see me, they're like, what the fuck? He's like another person. That's right. A lot of you realize from the last video that I'm actually a nice person. But when here, the reason why you see I'm not smiling like RSD, I have nothing to sell you right now. I'm not selling you on something. I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to save you. This is the truth. I don't know what else to say. Do not swallow the poison pill. They do not have the answers. They do not have the testimonials. And in COVID-19, they don't even have the Daygame testimonials to justify they know what the fuck they're talking about. So this is the advice video. I know it's pretty long. I'm going to break up into pieces later. I want to give you the phone right now.